Think back to school for a minute. For most of us, it was all about math, science, history, you know the drill. But what if we've been missing the entire point? Today, we're going to explore a pretty radical vision for education, one that completely redefines its fundamental purpose.
So let's just throw out the old rule book. Let's rethink school from the absolute ground up, not just by tweaking the subjects, but by changing the entire goal. What if the whole point wasn't just to get good grades, but to become a whole, capable person? That is the core idea we're diving into right now.
So, where do we even begin? Well, it all starts with a huge shift in purpose. The goal isn't just to create, clever heads, but to develop something so much bigger. Strong characters, healthy bodies, the whole individual.
And look, the ambition here, it is massive. This isn't about memorizing facts for a test. It's about equipping people to actually handle the real world, to be resilient, to be capable, to be balanced. I mean, that's a goal that goes way, way beyond any traditional curriculum.
The logic behind this is actually really simple, but also kind of profound. You can't train a person in pieces, right? Because we aren't made of separate parts. We're a complete system. So this model, it puts the whole person right at the center of everything. And the entire framework is built on this one key principle: balance. It focuses on the harmonious and, importantly, the equal development of 5 central areas of our being. No single area is more important than another.
So you've got the whole package here, right? Everything from our logical intellect to our spiritual intuition. A typical school might focus almost 100% on that first one, the intellect. But here, the goal is to develop all 5, in perfect balance.
Okay, a big vision is great and all, but how do you actually make it real? Well, this model translates that philosophy into practice through a really clear structure: 7 pillars that shape the entire learning experience.
And it all starts with this bedrock foundation of truth. At its core is this totally radical principle: every single student has the right to demand proof for any claim they're taught. I mean, just imagine how that one rule alone would foster some incredible critical thinking.
All right, so here they are, the 7 pillars that hold this whole thing up. As you just glance at the list, you can see right away this is not just about academics. You've got pillars for body and resilience and nature and life practice sitting right alongside training the mind. Let's look at a few surprising examples.
Okay, let's dive into a few of these, because this is where the theory gets really practical and, honestly, pretty cool.
Get this. Under Pillar 2, Body and Resilience, self-defense is a required subject. Can you imagine that? Then under Pillar 3, Nature and Life Practice, students are actually getting their hands dirty with gardening, woodwork, even survival training. And for Pillar 6, they don't just learn about tech, they learn to use AI as a powerful tool for their own creativity.
And just when you think that's a lot, it doesn't stop there. Under Pillar 7, Global Openness, every single student is required to learn a 3rd foreign language. And we're not talking about just passing a test. They're expected to achieve actual fluency before they graduate. That is a seriously ambitious package.
So with all this structure in place, you might be wondering, where does the individual student fit in all of this? Well, the answer completely flips the traditional model on its head. The student isn't just a passenger on this ride. They are the engine.
And this shift is absolutely fundamental. It's a complete 180. Instead of treating students like these passive buckets to be filled with knowledge, this model sees them as the active motor. And that motor runs on the fuel of their own curiosity and passion.
Because let's be honest, every kid is born curious, right? The whole goal here is to reignite that spark and make it the driving force of their education. Your personal talents, the things you truly care about, those aren't just tolerated. No, they are actively sought out, so you can find your own path and chase it with genuine excitement.
So when you step back and you put all these pieces together, what are we really looking at? It's definitely more than just a new curriculum.
You could really see this whole thing as an attempt to design a new compass, a new tool to guide the education of the generations who are literally going to be responsible for shaping our world tomorrow.
And the ultimate goal of this compass? Where is it pointing? It aims to form people who don't just know a bunch of facts, but who can face any challenge that comes their way with creativity, with self-confidence, and with a really firm ethical core.
And that, of course, leaves us with the one big question.
Is this the revolutionary blueprint for education that we desperately need for the future? Or is it a beautiful vision that, in the end, is just too overloaded? A lovely but impossible utopia. Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.